No single person on this planet has had the blood of more innocent men, women, and children on his hands than Zarqawi. He personified the dark, sadistic, and medieval vision of the future of beheadings, suicide bombings, and indiscriminate killings.
Abu Musab al-Zarqawi is responsible for hundreds, possibly thousands of deaths in Iraq. But how is the rest of the Arab world, the Arab street, as they say, reacting to the news? Will Zarqawi be viewed as a martyr?
Afshin Rattansi is a former producer for the Arab network Al Jazeera and author of the book The Dream of the Decade, and Dan Senor is also still with us. Afshin, we keep running this footage of Iraqi police officers and celebrating. Of course, they're very happy this morning because al-Zarqawi made them one of his main targets and killed a lot of those officers there that you see right there. These guys celebrating his death. I know you can't speak for everybody in Iraq. What do you think the reaction is across the country today?
You know, I think it is a victory for the U.S. intelligence. It's a victory short term. One must remember that the Bush administration, the U.S. ambassador in Iraq, the president himself, very keen to urge caution, saying there will be more violence. This does not signal the end of violence in Iraq. We must remember that Zarqawi was a petty Jordanian crook that only became this great leader after the invasion. The U.S. administration gave him Iraq. He wasn't important until bin Laden then said, look, okay, take it over. And we must realize that Zarqawi and bin Laden started not to get on. Bin Laden, according to the U.S. military memo that was released a year ago, said very clearly that Zarqawi was out of order when he was starting to criticize the Shia, the Iranians in, or the Shia Muslims in Iraq. So the death of Zarqawi may be applauded by bin Laden, may be applauded by the Iranians. It's noticeable they reduced the enrichment. Well, Zarqawi, only a month ago in that video, which some people say allowed or helped the U.S. in targeting Zarqawi, Zarqawi had said very clearly that Sunnis should attack Shias. This would be like urging Catholics to die a Protestant leader. And bin Laden was disquieted by this because he felt that both sides should unite against the United States and Britain. And and of course Iran hates al-Qaeda and hated al-Qaeda. And what this killing has succeeded in doing, about, well, half an hour ago or so, Hamas in the Palestine, the elected leaders of Palestine, have mourned the loss of Zarqawi, which is very odd because one always thinks of Hamas being opposed to Zarqawi. So already a martyrdom has begun. Bin Laden's people will maybe be happy in Pakistan or wherever he's hiding. And Iran has responded by reducing nuclear enrichment. It's a very unclear picture of what this has done, and I heard your previous guest say, of course, intelligence would have been so useful at furthering at real victory in this war on terror.
Mm-hmm. We're going to ask Dan Senor if he doesn't mind to stand by for this. Afshin Rattansi, thanks very much for joining us, and we'll get to Dan in just a few minutes. But how big of a blow is this to al-Qaeda in Iraq?
Yeah, I would respond to that and what Mr. Rattansi from Al Jazeera said a little while ago. Look, al-Qaeda leadership, bin Laden's leadership inner circle may have had problems with Zarqawi on tactics. There may have been disagreements on tactics, but the strategy of turning Iraq into a bloodbath they shared, and Zarqawi was effectively turning Iraq into a bloodbath. So the idea that bin Laden is happy that Zarqawi is gone is actually completely disconnected from the...
Other Muslims would be happy that Zarqawi is gone.
Yeah,
Jordanians.
Muslims were getting blown up by Zarqawi. But if your intention is to turn Iraq into a bloodbath, as bin Laden and al-Qaeda leadership wants, they want Zarqawi right where he is, even if they disagree with his tactics. Okay. So